So like at this end, use this tool to line up the holes. Just poke it through like that. The same thing here. Okay, so that's how it would look like. Just a quick recap. Mount the motors first on the base plate, and then you mount the base, put the ESC in there first, fish through the wires in through the motor mount, and then you attach the motors with the base plate, 3 screws on each side, and there you go. Now you need to do this 3 more times. So doing the same thing we did for motors 1 and 5, I built M2 and 6, M3 and M7, M4 and M8. Keep in mind that the lower number is always the top one. Now we're ready to build the canopy. The next page of the installation manual is page 8. It shows you the difference between the upper plate of the fuselage and the lower plate of the fuselage. I'll get you the actual one so you can tell the difference. The lower plate has the square center. The upper plate has the round center. So these are the 2 plates of the fuselage. So we're gonna need the 4 struts. Make sure, well, you can't go wrong because one side is longer than the other side. So longer side obviously is gonna have to go to the longer side, and the shorter ones goes like this. Okay, now we're gonna screw it in place. Remember, you have to screw it in place from the bottom, like so. That goes to the inner part, aligned with this little hole over here, right there, like that, and so right there. We do the same thing with the longer side, and so on. By the way, make sure that the logo faces away from the body. There's a marker here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a logo here. That goes with all the different struts. So it should look like that. To make sure that you don't get confused which way is the front, make sure you put some kind of a marker. In this case, I just put a tape in there so I can remove it later. So now we're ready to put the arms in. Okay, this is the front. So I'm gonna make it face away from me, because how it goes is this. If this is the front, motor 1 and 5, motor 2 and 6, motor 3 and 7, motor 4 and 8 goes like that. So it's counterclockwise. So basically what you do is you snap it in place. See this groove here, and make sure it's right side up. Just snap it in place like that. Okay, and then line up the screw here with the hole at the bottom. Not quite there yet. Yeah, line it up. Yeah, there. So now they're lined up. Okay, the top, it's like that. Okay. So do the same thing with the other 3. Snap them in place, making sure that they line up with the screw hole at the bottom. All right. So they will look like something like that. So now that we've snapped them in place, we are ready to secure them with the screw. So you turn it upside down. So just to double check though, make sure you double check the motor not in place, like so. Do the same thing with the other arms. By the way, make sure you use this outer screw away from the center. There's another hole here, so use this hole over here to screw the arm. Next step, after you fastened it with the screws, turn it right side up. And now we're going to put the front and back struts right here and over here. Fasten it with a screw. So there you go. Fasten the front and back struts. The wires, just gotta try and keep it neat. These will eventually go down the square hole over here for the battery. That's it. This is the front. I have my marker still there. So now we're ready to attach the top plate, like so. So in the same alignment, we will fasten them with the screws. So line up the holes and secure them with the screw, like so. So go all over around and secure everything with the screw, like right there. Sorry, casting so much shadows in here, you can't even see what I'm doing. So we've fastened everything, lined up the top plate with the strut screw holes, and now we'll fasten everything with this with the screw. Don't forget the end of the motor arm, or the arm I should say. Okay, after we've affixed the top plate, you have to make sure that the arms can swivel. What I mean by that is, if you look down at the bottom where you have marked the front, and at the short strut, remember there's a short strut and the long strut. The long strut should be where your arms are snapped into place. So to check whether the arm can swivel is you simply just swivel it towards the short strut, like so. The next one, do the same thing. So now the arm should be parallel. This is your transport position for your flyer. There you go. After you've done that, you gotta double check all of your bolts. Make sure they're tight enough. So you just tighten them if they're a little loose. A little quick check. There you go. Okay, then just snap it back into place. Okay. It should move freely. If it doesn't, there's something that you didn't do right. So you gotta review all of your attachments if that's the case.